cannot lose this crate. There we go. Whew, okay. Trying to decide what I was going to do. I decided to go with this girl from Raen Art. I haven't accomplished much for the month of August. Been a busy month. This is my little favorite mushroom color. I use the same ones all the time, so I was like, I just need to keep them together. So yeah, I'm going to start with some mushrooms. The only downside is they don't get put up in their case, which kind of bothers me, but a lot of other pencils around me have not been in their cases. And it's the same reason. It's like I've got some of my favorite leaf colors and eye colors and skin colors and gold colors, and it's like, wow, there's a lot going on. This is Prisma Deco Pink, I think. It says Rose Deco. I think it's Deco Pink in the English words. This dog's going to start whining. I have to bring it down some more. Man, I wish we could play any music we want. It would really be nice right now. Fix that.
Tea delivery.
Thank you.
Pink mushroom.
Chat always ends up covering up what I'm looking at.
Don't the floors look nice?
Get all 3 of these. I should say 4, huh? That would make sense. Hi, Shannon. Thanks for coming. Wanted to start this rain art picture. Still like her stuff. I need to get some more of her books. Hi, Louise. Welcome, welcome. Some of my mushroom colors are getting a little small. And I have somewhere misplaced my, yep, I found it. I think it was Tuscan. I cannot for the life of me find that pencil. It's driving me crazy. Have y'all had a good week? Not been a bad week. Busy, except Thursday night. Thursday night got a little rough for me. Yeah, it's definitely been super hot. Hi, Melissa. And we had, looked like it was going to rain, but then it didn't really. It was just a little minor shower, basically. But it was brewing up. You would have thought it was going to just bust out. We had one storm day, but it just didn't last long. I wish it would have just stormed all day. And Thursday night, it was a good day. Everything was fine. It was, oh, I don't know. It was dark outside. It was about an hour or so before the kids' bedtime. And my daughter took out trash and she thought that my dog, I mean, they're all my dogs, but my special one, my little sidekick, Penny Pooh, which if you've seen on Emily's Discord, I've posted a couple pictures of Penny in the pet section on there. So that's the one I'm talking about. Anyway, she thought she slipped out on her. Hi, Aspie. And so me and my husband and my son and my daughter, we all took off looking for my dog and split up, went in different directions. And Carmine Red. And we're walking around looking for her, and all the worst things was going through my mind. I was scared to death I was going to walk up and find her on the road or something like that. And I was crying and I was just upset. And I don't know, we looked for a good hour or more. And by that point, I done got myself really worked up. And then my husband called me, wanting to know where I was. She had been found. And I was so happy. And I'm like, is she okay? She was fine. He drove to where I was and picked me up, and I lost it. I absolutely lost it. And then we got home, and I was looking at her, and I didn't really scold her, but I got on her. I'm like, you scared me to death. And I stopped and I thought about it because, I've mentioned before that all my dogs are older senior dogs. And, God only knows how much more time we have with them all. And I looked at my husband. I said, you know what? I said, that tells me, hi, Ashley. That tells me that, I hope it's a long time from now, but when something happens to her and she's gone, I'm like, I'm not going to make it. And then I couldn't even finish getting those words out of my mouth. And I just turned into a blubbering mess. I mean, I was ugly cry the whole night, full on snot, like little kid just bawling. And I'm like, oh my God. And he starts laughing at me. And I'm like, oh. And he says, come here. And he was just like, oh. And I don't know. I really broke down just thinking about how bad of a hit that's going to be for me when I lose her. It was crazy though. But most important thing is she was found, and apparently she was in my bedroom closet
the whole time.
And she wasn't hurt. So, yeah, I was a mess. I just kept looking at her like, man. I couldn't believe I got that upset and that I cried like that. I mean, it was. Anybody done anything fun this weekend so far, or have plans for anything this weekend? Little bitty circles they got. Jeez. You have to fill them in, just like keep an eye on them. I realized that all these pencils need sharpened. Oh well. Little Snoopy. I tried to get Penny in the beauty shop for either yesterday or today, and they were too full. I used to do it all the time myself, and man, it's she's a little dog, but it takes a long time. Her hair is so thick. Remember, with some espresso. Everybody's work I've been seeing is so great. I love that picture. Everybody, it was just at Tammy's live not long ago. The picture she did in the gold leafing. I love that. I need to get some of that stuff. Try it out. And Miss Evelyn's picture earlier. That little bit of pink hair. That was so cute. And my tips broke. Not the tip, it's wobbly in there. See how long I can get by with it. I hate when that happens. I'm not going to waste any of it. Hi, Louise. A second one? We've been sort of chill day at home today. Kids got chores to take care of after they had breakfast this morning, and I did mine. So I have a couple things to do actually. I have to stop and help them find something they need to use or deal with dogs in between or just whatever. And then, of course, stop and make supper. I was going to make burgers and fries tonight, but hubby wasn't feeling it. And he's like, make whatever. But I could tell we've been together long enough. I can tell he's thinking, oh, I really don't want to eat that. So I was like, well, how's about I just make spaghetti? And he thought, ooh, I know that's one of his favorites. So we ended up making spaghetti and garlic bread, and he asked if I'd fry up some zucchini. So I fried out some zucchini, which was really good. I just did that with squash the other day. I haven't tried cooking it any other ways, like baking it or something. I need to try different ways. I'm going to try to start eating healthier. And I had to go to the doctor this week dealing with gluten-free. I was thinking, oh man. So I'm going to start looking into that and, seeing what I can switch over to and all that type of thing. I'm not real happy about it, but oh, that sounds good, Shannon. I got to get away from frying stuff just in general, but for me, it doesn't do well for me. It's so hard, I mean, I grew up everything fried, especially fried potatoes. Man, my mom and dad would, I bet we'd have fried potatoes 3 or 4 times a week. Get this pencil sharpened up. I forget where it was. Hi, Pamela. But somebody. So I was talking about how you can't sharpen the pencils once they get too small, and somebody said, "Well, they'll go in there with a pencil extender," and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna try that." I do too. I mean, I definitely love my fried taters, but I need to get away from so much fried stuff. He doesn't want to sharpen this pencil. Why doesn't this pencil want to sharpen? Ooh, on in there too. Look at that. That's awful looking. But yeah, the grease and stuff it's messing with me. I know that. It used to be a bigger problem when I still had my gallbladder, and then it got a little better after I had my gallbladder taken out, but it's still a problem. I am struggling with this pencil. Hope you're feeling better, Pamela. Has your swelling went down any yet? I might be able to use it. This one don't want to. It's one of the few. I think it's. Man, my numbers and everything is rubbed off, but it's. I think the mineral orange. Maybe. I've always had a problem with it. Oh wow! It's been a good week, hasn't it? Wasn't it last Friday when you went to the hospital? I'm glad you feel better at least. Dang. That's still so crazy. Man. I actually, after you started talking about it and said what was going on, I Googled some pictures and looked, and I was like, oh wow, I did not know that that's what happened. Ooh, oh, there goes Larry. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I had no idea that that's how it affected you and what it looked like, and I was very surprised. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh, yeah. My bad. Yeah, she has the mumps, for goodness sakes, of all things. But I had no idea it looked like that. And growing up, I just assumed it was something that was like the chicken pox or measles. Now, when I got older, I learned that it was different, but I still didn't know in what way or what it looked like. And that was the first time last weekend was the first time I ever looked it up and seen that. So, oh no. Well, I hope she's going to be okay. Like you've said, it's hard to believe that that's even still a thing that we have to worry about now. I remember you talking about how highly contagious they are. It's crazy. I know, right? She is so cute. This is Rain art, and if you see there how she spells it, I guess you say it Rain art. At least that's what I call it. You can look her up on Etsy, and she has several um, downloadable PDF style books. They're not too expensive either. They're pretty reasonable priced, but she has some really cute images. I was checking my stuff. I have a big two whole pictures that are complete for this month. And that one, like I showed when I first came on, this is my Mariola Budek whip. I almost was going to work on her. I thought, nope, let me throw one more in the mix. Why not? Just haven't had much time to color. And I think so kids first went back to school, they only did like 3 days that first week. And then this past week was their first full week of school. And we gotta find our rhythm with it now. Get back in the swing of things. The last weekend I was working on that Hannah Carzon picture. Well, pictures I should say, because I thought I was just going to do the one side And I ended up doing it as a double page spread. And maybe it's meant to be that way, maybe not, I don't know. But that's what I did. But I actually got it done. I was like, wow. Couldn't believe it. I got, oh, I can show you. I want to, my son took off with stuff, but this is a manja gates. And I want to do her. But there's a video I found a long time ago that I loved with the way they did flames. And I want to go back and rewatch that. It's been like forever ago. And to get my flame each going right. But I thought I was going to have time to start her too this month. And no. Now I am missing one of my reds. There is housefly in here, and it is driving me crazy. And the cricket. I don't know what. I'm trying to find where I wrote my mushroom colors down. I don't know what live stream I was at when I was talking about that, but I have had this cricket in here for I don't know how, a week, I guess now it's been. And I cannot find it. I can't catch it because I can't find it. But it is driving me crazy. I don't know if you can hear the cricket in the live also or not, but oh my gosh. It is driving me nuts. Of course, now I've been talking about it and it goes silent. And I feel like at night when everybody else is in bed and I'm sitting here being all peaceful with myself, I feel like it gets closer and closer. And I actually start looking around as if I'm going to see it out in the open. It gets closer and louder. And I'm just like, oh, but I don't ever see it. Man, this cricket's going around and around for sure. Use that one. Definitely missing one of my reds. That seems about right, Pamela. I never thought about that, but I can't decide which color I want now. Could be that one. Yeah, I'm going to use the Scarlet Lake. So I get this one to sharpen right. It's definitely down here, though, wherever it is. Which I'm in the basement, but it's a completely finished basement and everything. That's where my whole little art desk and art world is set up, and apparently that's where this cricket lives. If I found it, I would just throw it outside. Oh, I love hearing the birds at Tammy's. Way back when I first started going to Tammy's, I asked her if she had birds because since I do, and she was like, "No, that's just the wildlife outside." I'm like, "Oh my god, that's so great! I would love that." I mean, we have birds, but like birds I was hearing it on her live was just like you could tell they're way more interesting and exotic type birds. So, but at first I thought, "Oh, does she got parrots like I do?" Pamela, I have heard that. It's been a long time. I forgot about that, but I have heard um, about they're supposed to be good luck. Oh, I don't want to trap him. I don't want to hurt it or kill it. I'd actually like to catch it and put it in my daughter's room, let it drive her bonkers for a while. She'd love that. When we had the cicadas going on, we had a few that was getting in the house. Some came down. I guess they came down the chimney, and my son was getting them out of the fireplace. But we were taking them and just putting them back outside. Yes, they do. We don't kill spiders or nothing like that neither. I pretty much, I'm not gonna kill nothing if it ain't gonna try. If it's not trying to kill me, I'm not gonna try to kill it. Pretty much how I feel. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. The brood that just came out for us this past, I guess it started in May or April and went through June, was the every 17-year batch, Brood X, I think it was. We had fun with them. My kids caught a bunch of them, filled up one of their critter getter containers, and brought about 50 of them in the house. And I just looked at them like, well, I said, they're not staying in here, so you may as well take them back outside. They thought they was good. They didn't. They thought they'd just keep them and they would just live forever and happily ever after. And I'm like, nope. I'm like, you need to let them go. Let them go find their mates and do their thing and do what they're supposed to do. They waited 17 years to go do it. Let them go. They usually have like, I swear, every time I'm live, my throat gets funky. Um, but they usually have like these reddish orange eyes. And my son come in excited and he's like, look at this, look at this. And he had found one that had white eyes. And I took its picture and, he carried it around for a little while and he let it go. And then I heard a thing where this people at a college campus was offering money for cicadas with different colored eyes, especially if they were blue. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if they would have been interested in white eyes. But it was gone. He got to go live and be free. But I've never seen one with blue eyes yet. But the next batch that comes out, I'll be looking. Yeah, they make pizzas with them around here. You could order cicada pizzas. It's crazy. I don't eat them. We don't do that. Like, no. No, thank you. Closest I've come to eating bugs was mealworms and chocolate covered ants. And that was not really by choice. But we were playing games in a nursing home that I used to work at where every employee partnered up with one of the residents. Excuse me, y'all. Jeez. And you played games. It was kind of like Survivor, but with a bit of like fear factor in it a little bit. And that was one of our challenges. You rolled dice and your number was equivalent to whatever pre-numbered food items that you'd have to eat. And mealworms and chocolate covered ants was on that list, and I had to eat that. I was not happy. Although I will say that another food item that was in that game that we played with our residents was caviar. And I had never had that before. I knew it's supposed to be like an ooh la la thing. I knew what it was, but it's supposed to be a fancy thing. And I'm like, I think the chocolate covered ants was better than caviar. And that stuff left my mouth all black. And it was just, I don't know, it was weird. I didn't like that at all. Yeah, it was. I had to do it for the sake of the game, but man, I wasn't going to let my resident partner down. And they wanted to make those games like an annual thing. And I told the coordinator person, I said, yeah, we do that, I said, next time you can leave out the eating challenge. And they just laughed at me. I'm like, oh, I'm serious. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend anything. Like I said, I will say I think the chocolate covered ants was better than the caviar, but I wouldn't recommend any of it. I've seen some other things people's eating, and like I've seen fried tarantulas on a stick. I'm thinking, no, no, no. I had two tarantulas. I couldn't imagine eating one of them. Like, that's no. My little Violet, she was so sweet. She was when she I let her walk around on me and stuff, and she always liked to sit on my knee. She'd get on my knee, and you could see her. She'd start getting settled in, and she'd kind of wiggle around, and then she'd shake her little butt, and then just go flop, and her legs would just spread way out and drape across down the sides of my knees and stuff. I was like, oh, it was just so cute. was almost like what, like a dog, how they kind of, they go find their spot to go lay down and they're going to make a circle, go make a circle. Maybe they scratch a little bit, but they're like settling in and then they just flop down. That's what my tarantula Violet would do. I had Rosie and one was named Rosie and one was named Violet. Violet was the little booty shaker. You got people poking a stick through them and eating them. Now, are those just your like your annual ones, Melissa, or is the batch just kind of like passing through your area now? Hi, Vicky. Thanks for coming. Coloring some shrooms. I'm gonna go over the orange just a little, super lightly. Because then I'm gonna go over everything with the orange too. Yeah, well, when Brood X was came out here, it was that type of super loud. Yeah, I mean, when they first started, if you go to my Instagram, I posted a couple videos, especially the one where I walk underneath one of the trees, um, just to share what they sound like for people who live places that never experience them. And yeah, it was super loud. So yeah, I got my little video up of them. Trying to decide how dark I want. Little, what are they? Mushroom warts or mushroom freckles? Not sure what them things are called. Definitely want to try to get me some of that gold leaf stuff though. Are they asking? To say I never would have guessed that. I had no idea. I don't like mushrooms, so I do think there are mushrooms that are very pretty. I've seen some pictures, wild colors and such. I don't like them. Hi, Lulu. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Tara Lynn. If y'all hear that noise, I do vape. So this noise, if y'all can hear that. Oh, and I got him. Ha! Things that drive me crazy. I need to work on quit vaping too. But I used to be a really, really bad heavy smoker. I smoked cigarettes for over 20 years. Average pack a day, but I had times that I was overdoing it and I would be smoking 2 packs a day. And that was getting a lot more common. And I was just like, and the kids were little and I didn't want to. Thank you, Melissa. It just started bothering me because I didn't want to smoke around the kids. And I had to worry about, them walking into my cigarette, if, even outside them running around, or if I wanted to, if I was holding my son, because he was still in diapers back then, put him down just so I could step out to have a cigarette. And I started feeling guilty about it. I didn't like it. And I was tired of it anyway, I guess. And so I had tried a few other things in the past before this. The patches, and there was some pill. I can't remember what it was, but there was a pill that my doctor had me try. I didn't like that. I don't like taking pills if I don't have to. But I decided I was going to try vaping. And I tried it, and it worked. And it's been 9 years ago this past April since I've touched an actual cigarette. So I've been vaping for 9 years. But I'm glad because I can tell the difference between that and smoking cigarettes. Oh, yeah, not quite anything like that. Got some good old nicotine going on. I started off. I was vaping 36 milligrams of nicotine, and the shop had to special make it for me because they were like, "We don't have anything that high," and but I'm down to what am I? 10 milligrams. So I vape 10 milligrams of nicotine. So I think it's great as far as for somebody who is a smoker and that wants to stop being a smoker, and you need something to help you get off of it. Um, I think vaping is great for that. Now, if you've never smoked and you want to just vape to vape, or you don't even smoke vape nicotine, you just want to vape the flavor or something, yeah, no, I think that's silly. Like, don't bother. Don't start a habit that you don't need to have. I mean, I don't regret much in life. I think even my mistakes or things that could be a regret is more of it's a lesson, and I take it for that. But that's one thing I'll say that I truly regret and wish I could change is ever touching a cigarette in my life. And I was a kid when I started smoking, tween, teen, whatever. But I definitely regret ever touching a cigarette. It's not easy, Louise. It is not. I mean, I've talked to my doctor and a few other doctors about smoking and vaping, and I mean, because I took a long time researching before I decided to do it, and they said that there's over 2,000 chemicals and carcinogens in a cigarette, and the vape you got 4 ingredients. And I'm like, yeah. I used to get sick all the time, like a lot of head colds and sinus type stuff, and a lot of respiratory infections. I'd have bronchitis 3, 4 at least times a year. Could be in the hospital maybe once or twice a year because of bronchitis. And since I have, now there was a transition time, a month or so of, you know, getting used to the switch over. But after that, it's been great. Like my ears, I didn't realize my ears were clogged. I didn't realize a lot of stuff until I got off of the cigarettes and vape. And it's just not that way no more. I don't cough in the mornings when I get up. I haven't had bronchitis since the last time before I quit smoking cigarettes, honestly. And I definitely don't have the level of sinus and head colds that I used to. I still get them, but like super minor. It's more of like especially in spring, sometimes in fall, I'll have a little change of season sinus action happening, but that's it. And it's super mild. So this is Rain Art Lulu. She has a lot of super cute stuff. Well, thanks for joining, Louise. You take care. Have a good one. Ooh, cold turkey. See, I tried that too. Like, I just, I don't know. It was just hard. It just is, you know. That's been a good thing though. I am. Everything is Prisma except this Lumi, which I'm about to be using again, which I did earlier. I kind of just outlined it. I'll go back in with that one. They are all Prismas. This is beige sienna. So I'm gonna switch over. This is luminescence. I don't know, something brown. It's 585. Yeah, and I actually, I guess it was, I mean, it was the right time and I actually stuck with it, but there was a lot of stressful stuff going on. I had just moved my grandparents in with me and had to take care of them. And, um, just watching them decrease and knowing that they weren't going to be with me much longer. And it was driving me crazy. And I would tell people then, I was like, and here I am trying to quit smoking. And I'm like, man, I want a cigarette so bad. I feel like I could just eat a carton of them. But I stuck to my guns. Yeah, I had my crutch to do it, the little vapor, but hey, it worked. I was, I feel like whatever it takes type mode. And my husband's a smoker, and I've been trying to get him to quit. But it's incredible how much I was so unaware as a smoker. But then when being away from it, um, smelling it on him and all the other things you can tell the difference on. It's amazing. It's like, wow. And next weekend is Labor Day weekend. I don't know if there's anyone here. I know Aspie's not from here, but who else has a Labor Day type of situation? But we are going to go to our friend's house next Sunday and do like a potluck barbecue type thing and be in their big giant pool all day. We'll play some cornhole and maybe horseshoes, and we always get some good volleyball games going. I love playing volleyball. And just kick back and enjoy the day. So I'm looking forward to that. And we get to do it all over again at other friends' houses on Monday of next week. Kids will have school off. It's their first holiday off of school since it started. Beano. That's cute. I've never heard it called that. Oh, thank you. I've only known it to be cornhole. And back in the day when my husband got back into school and was going to college, it was a bit of a struggle for us, and because he stopped working altogether and went to school full time, and we did what we had to do. And one of the things that we were doing was working at a flea market on weekends. I worked through the week, plus we'd work on the weekends. And him and our friend, they would sit all week and sew. They'd both be two big guys sitting at sewing machines, making cornhole bags, because they would make cornhole sets and cornhole bags and sell them. It was cute. Measuring out the corn to put in them and stuff. He also sold slot machines on weekends too. I was working a booth selling rock band T-shirts, incense, and body jewelry. That was interesting. But we managed. We got by, and he got through school, and yay. They were doing pretty good selling them cornhole sets, though. Oh, well, goodness, Terry Lynn. Yeah, go eat you something. I made ours eat early. Like, I ain't got time for y'all tonight, so early dinner. Appreciate you dropping by. View, are you still here? Miss Pamela? I don't know if you took off or not. I think let's do something with the stems. Again, all my pencils. And I just wore down. And Friday, my husband, he didn't go to work. Well, he didn't go to regular work. He works his job, but then he works for the union. Bye, Aspie. Take care. Thanks for coming. Sorry you have to go adulting. No fun. But so when he works for the union, he has to take, this is the French gray, 10% French gray. It's like office work and stuff. Sometimes it's meetings and whatever. So he had one of them kind of days, but it was kind of like a quick and easy day. So he was free a lot, and he does a lot of that work from home if it's not particular meetings or something, because he can print and fax and all that stuff from home. And so he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. Me and him by ourselves. Kids were at school. He's like, we'll go to the grocery store. And I got all excited. I'm like, oh yeah, can we? Now, and oh my gosh, I can't help but crack up. I feel like such a dork. We haven't been like in person grocery shopping for over a year. There's been a couple like little small, like, I think one time we was just grabbing some certain kind of bulbs for my little wax warmer thingies. And while we're there, may as well grab like a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread or something, but not an actual full on grocery shopping trip. And I was so excited to go to the stupid grocery store. I was like, ooh, got me a cart, and I was walking around. So that's what we did with his little spare time. That's so cheesy, but so true. And it was wonderful. So we did our grocery shopping thing. But I was so tickled about it. Big free time to ourselves, no kids. Which we ain't used to that either, because we had them home for a year and a half straight. We are looking at each other. Ooh, no kids, free time. Hubby's not at work. Grocery store, yeah, baby. And there we went. Oh, we had a perfectly wonderful time. This is sand. And we used to go all the time. The kids would be with me, and they always did pretty good, because I gave them jobs, and they liked helping. And the older they got, the more sort of kind of helpful they were. And but yeah, it's just been a while, and it was different. Not only to be back in the grocery store for that type of a trip, but also be without the kids. And it's definitely been different not having them at home, which I liked having them at home. I got used to it. I hate when there's little places like this where there's no definitive lines that the stem stops here and this leaf starts there. And so we just want to make this come down here. Since I have a leaf back there. So yeah, that makes sense. Sort of. Then I'm going to jump on some. See that with my beige sienna? Bring some espresso down here. I like this espresso color. This and sandbar brown. I really like that one too. I usually use that a lot with my ground. Some in there. So I'm guessing twins, Louise? Twins are cool. My oldest is 14, just started first year of high school, and my youngest, he is 10. Did you get one of each, or are they boys or girls? So I always said I wanted twins, but I was like, if I have twins, I hope it's one of each, and then I could just be done and move on with life. Oh, how awesome! I would have liked twins. It is, Melissa. Now my bestie, she ended up pregnant with natural triplets. She had two girls and one boy, and she had an incredibly smooth pregnancy for carrying triplets that were a complete surprise. And they're 22 now, but yeah, they did really well. She was close to full term when she had them and everything. We used to try to help her out. A lot of people did, and she had a assembly line thing going on, and then she got this offer. I forget what company it was, but some diaper company offered her a thing that she had to keep this binder, and they wanted her to chart every time she changed their diapers. And, I guess like I can't remember exactly all of it, but like how just when she was changing which one and what they did and how it was and how she thinks the diaper held up and all this stuff. And as long as she did that, I think for the first, I want to say year, pretty sure it was the first year of their life, they were providing her diapers for free the whole time. So she was like, heck yeah, take that deal. But I was like, man, I mean, it sounds good, but at the same time, she had all that going on with all them babies, and she had other kids, and she had this big binder that she had to keep all this chart work on and stay organized. But more power to you, sis. Dang. Dang is what I said, in case it came out differently. I just have my two, but I want another one. Ever since we moved at the end of last year into a bigger place, I told my hubby and the kids, we need another baby. And they're just wide eyed looking at me like, are you crazy? They think I'm out of my mind. They're like, oh, no, 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 no. And my son said, we are enough, Mommy. And I'm like, well, nothing against you. We just share the love and the joy, and have another. And which I'd be adopting, by the way. It wouldn't be me doing it. So I'm like, yes, we can get another one. They're like, no, 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 no. They like the idea of, giving a home to another kid that needs it, but they don't want to actually do it either. My husband thinks I'm absolutely out of mind. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear him down on the idea or not. Yeah, and there's so many kids that need it, and I feel bad, but I mean, I'm going to be honest. I want a baby, and everybody wants babies and all. There's all these older kids, even if they're just grade school, but just older kids, that are kind of left behind or whatever because everybody wants the babies. And I just want the baby. I love the babies and toddlers and stuff, man. I love that stuff. But even though I want a baby, it doesn't mean I'd be opposed to a child. It would just depend. I mean, there's a lot to consider with that. So I mean, I understand why it's harder for them to get homes. And I don't blame somebody that's never had one and they want the baby because they want to start it, in the first phase and get to enjoy all the different little years and milestones of a child and stuff. I mean, I get that. And then also, sometimes they've been through a lot of things and you don't want to deal with all that extra. I get that. That would be one of my concerns is with an older child. Um, if it was just me and my husband, I'd be pretty much open to give anything a whirl. But I mean, I got two kids and I got to think of them, and I wouldn't want to, bring any kind of drama into our home that could negatively affect them. And so I would just have hesitation with that. But it's all, like I said, I've definitely been thinking about it. But yeah, I've been thinking about all those different aspects of it. Because I'd love to be the person that, takes that older kid that nobody wants to adopt. But there's a lot to consider with that. Babies are so fun. I swear, if just like we talked about, like with puppies and everything, if everything stayed in the baby phase forever, oh my gosh, or that phase lasted longer, I'd have more than I could handle probably. I don't blame you, Louise. But hey, I mean, at least you get to have the grandbabies. I guess, that's where my husband's like, we'll get to be grandparents. I'm like, yeah, but I ain't even trying to rush all that. I hope both of mine wait a really long time before they have kids. But I look forward to the day that it actually, get have grandbabies. That'll be great when it's good good enough time for it. But I hope they wait a while. I think I'm gonna work on her skin. Maybe if I can find my skin pencils. I've been so I've been really bad about my pencils lately. I found them. Pretty much I'm gonna do the big one just like these. And I'm thinking her hat is kind of looking mushroom cappy to me. So I might do her hat as a mushroom cap too. And this foofy thing, I'm not exactly sure what critter it is. Um, I kind of want to go with maybe a chinchilla, but I really have no idea. So I'm not sure what that critter is. So let's get some skin on. I've got a Pablo chestnut and sharpen. I've heard this rumor that there's people out there that use their pencils and they go to put them away. They put their pencils away after they're done for the day, and they sharpen them before they put them away. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. See, I leave my pencils out if I'm still using them on a certain page because I don't want to have to hunt them down again. And I have never sharpened them and put them away. But maybe that's a good idea to at least sharpen them when I'm done. Oh, do you? Oh, wow. That's impressive. I used to be better about at least putting them back in their cases. I just got lazy. I got tired of going back to it the next day and getting exact same pencils out. So I just started being lazy with it. But the one good thing is I can do that because I don't have little ones. So they don't get messed with. So that's good at least. One of the things I'm trying to figure out is what color eyes and hair she's going to have. Especially the eyes because they seem like a pretty dominant thing on the page. Oh. I think all of Rain Art's pictures, the eyes are very, um, they stand out a lot, have that staring at you type thing. So ever since I printed this picture, I've been thinking about it. I usually do green eyes. But I've done blue and purple and brown-ish. This month has went by so fast. Summer has went by so fast. And that was something else when we were at the store. Um, they had all kinds of Halloween stuff out. I was like, what? Already? I couldn't believe it. And we had Raen in there um, just before the kids went back to school, their school supply list. We were on the great hunt for highlighters. And for some reason, we had the hardest time finding highlighters. And so we ran in there to see what they had. And everywhere that they had school supply stuff at that time was all gone, all moved. And that whole area was covered with the Halloween stuff, which, I love Halloween. I love the let's get dressed up and all that, the scary stuff. Matter of fact, I was in a different live yesterday and we were talking about that, enjoying that time of season and stuff. Me and my daughter, it's always been our thing, um, watching scary movies together. And my son is not so much into it, and he doesn't want to, and I don't make him. As far as watching scary movies or going to haunted houses and stuff. But me and my daughter do that all the time during the season. Um, so I look forward to getting to do that, but I'm a summer baby. I like summer. I wish it could be summer all year round and hot enough to swim. I don't want miserable heat, but just swimmable weather with comfortable evenings type of thing. I just can't believe it's already upon us. So fast. guess by the time I'm getting my Halloween candy and things together, they're going to have Christmas stuff out. Jeez. It goes by so fast and they rush it all so much. Now look, again, I love Christmas time. Love decorating for it. I leave stuff up a little extra longer and start a little extra early. I like to have my trees up for before Thanksgiving. That way, when everybody comes for Thanksgiving, my trees are up and it's all ready. But even though I enjoy it, there's no need to rush it. I remember when I was a kid, buddy, waiting on summer to come around felt like it took forever. Waiting on Christmas to come felt like it took forever. Now it all just happens in a blink of an eye. I love Christmas too. I love giving and watching people's reactions and, basically nailing something for somebody and it just being right up their alley and them be so happy with whatever. And I love that stuff. And I love the decorations. I love the trees and all the lights. I'm definitely into all of it. I just don't like time going so fast. Now, when I was a kid at Christmas time, my mom, man, she was into baking, and she was one of those people that did, cooked a bazillion cookies and made different tins with a variety of cookies and little white powder balls and rum balls and I don't know, all kinds of other stuff that she baked. She had tins to give to everybody and stuff, but she also did candy. She had all kinds of molds and stuff, and she'd make hard candy like almost like like a sucker. But they weren't suckers, just hard candies and chocolate mold things, and just I don't. She made all kinds of sweet stuff. I don't get into all that. I like cooking, but I don't like baking, and I don't have a sweet tooth, so I don't get into all that. But boy, we had it going on in the house when I was a kid. That's for sure. She sure was into it. I did like, 'cause I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but there's a few certain sweet things I like, and one of them she made this stuff was uh, puppy chow. I don't know if anybody's heard of that before, but it was like a so what is that stuff? Check mix, whatever. There's a few things involved with it, including some of that white powdered sugar. But ooh, that was so good. That was one of my favorite things she'd make Christmas time. Normally I would just do one little section and work it out and move on, but the last few times I got myself messed up with my pencils. And it looked like between the two different arms and the face and like neck, chest area, I had multi-tones going on. I'm sure if I would do a desk cleanup, it wouldn't be as bad. But you know, it is what it is. That makes her look funny. Hmm. And find the nose a little more. I used to be so scared to do that. I used to be scared to try a lot of things coloring. And I still can be a little bit, but I think I've gotten over it better. Especially since I have my printer. Because I'm like, well, if I mess up so bad that I just can't stand it, I can always reprint it. It's an awesome thing to be able to do. I used to be scared to paint the backgrounds out with black acrylic paint. And now that's something I almost always do. I love doing it. I'm not perfect at it, but I've definitely gotten a lot better with the nose thing. I remember the first few tries, they was looking like they had broke noses and stuff. It was not pretty. It was not a good look. Hi Kim, how are you? Thanks for coming. Sitting here working on this rain art pick. Can't complain. Not bad. I'm gonna go for a Lumi. So that was my Pablo, and this is my Luminous Dark Flesh 5%. Of course, it's sharpened. Her ear, I don't see ears. I'm like, wait a minute, because I'm good for that. Missing an ear, I don't see ear. So that's her hat. Yeah. I don't see no ear poking out. You said that, I'm looking like, wait, because I'm good for that. I've missed ears a lot, to the point of putting them all the pencils away and then having to go back and figure out, oh man, which ones did I use? Oh no, it's cool. I'd rather know early than lose the pencils I was using and realize it then and try to have to figure it out. Well, in this case, I probably just watch back to collect the pencils. I did that before on a picture. Hi, Kenny. Are you guys coloring together? I think I'm going to try to get the kids to play some games when I get off here. Been a minute. And try to get a Yahtzee game going or something. I like Yahtzee. We have a big armoire cabinet. That's also down here with where I'm at. My old kitchen table's down here, and then I got that big armoire, and that's what we filled up when we put all of the board games and card games and such in it. And I mean, they get used, but it's been a while since I've called a game night out on them. So I'm gonna get some Yahtzee going or something. Now, earlier in the week, I did have we got a couple big giant whiteboards, and thank you, Kenny. And we have a big pile of the dry erase markers, and so we played Hangman, and then we played. I don't know if anybody ever watched it, but when I was a kid, there was a show, Win, Lose, or Draw. It's basically like Pictionary. And so we do our own version of Win, Lose, or Draw, or Pictionary, whatever you want to call it, on the whiteboards too. So we were doing that. Lots of laughing. Me and my daughter laughing at each other because things that she was drawing, I was cracking up. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, you have to draw it to where it makes sense to me. It can't just make sense to you. We're on the hunt for a secondhand pool table and a pinball machine. I cannot wait to have a pool table. Ugh. Then I'm going to get the kids playing that all the time. That's where me and my hubby met, was in a pool hall. Shooting pool back when we were in high school. I used to shoot pool with my dad all the time. My kids, they've played some. We have a lot of friends and some family that have them, but we've never had our own. We never had the space for one. That was part of the reason. But I know they'll enjoy having one. And we're big about pinball too. We have close to the house, we had a place that opened up. They have all kinds of old classic. Okay, Kim. Old classic pinball machines. And you get actual tokens and everything to play. And we take the kids up there and play, and they enjoy it a lot. They have a blast. I grew up playing pinball machines all the time too. My grandma and her sister-in-law, they used to own and run a truck stop kind of restaurant place, diner or whatever. And there was some pinball machines and a jukebox in there. Oh, when I would be there, that's what I was doing. They said I was doing that when I was too little to even see, that I would pull a chair over there and stand on the chair to see up on top of it to play. After I started the jukebox, of course. Because, got to have your pinball music going. I don't play video games a lot, but that's one that I downloaded on their Switches, was pinball games. And it's fun, but it's not the same as the real deal. Well, good night, Louise. Thanks for coming. Hope you come back and join sometime. Do you post on Instagram too? I'm same name on Instagram. If you're there and look me up, I check out your background. You do. I hear them running around upstairs. Always makes me think, oh goodness, what are they doing? Same name as here, the Sarah Moonlitcrafter. I post in a lot of Facebook groups too. All right, take care. But it's my last name on the Facebook groups. I have one friend that she colors too. She's into it, not quite as much as me, but a lot. But I have another friend I'm trying to get into coloring. I think I'm gonna get her some coloring stuff for Christmas. I've showed her a bunch of different books, and I saw which ones um, perked her interest. She likes a lot of the more intricate Japanese and Korean coloring books that are out there. So I think I know a few to get her that'd be up her alley. She got me. It was so sweet. She got me a color your own tarot card kit thingamabobber. That's what I need to do. I might do that next Saturday because I've looked at it, but I haven't actually colored any of it. I need to test and see though and check um, if pencils are going to take on that. I want to say it's kind of slick, so I'm not sure if pencils will work on it or not. I'll have to test that out. Because if not, I mean, I don't have markers. Only I don't have any markers. I have some gel pens, and of course, I use my gel pens for certain highlights and details and stuff. But I don't have any markers. Um, so if pencils don't take to it very well, then I'll have to test if I put a marker base down and then go over top of that with some pencil or something. I don't know. But I'll have to test that out this week and see. And if I got the supplies that'll work with it, I might bust that out and do some of that next Saturday night. It's just, I just thought it was a thoughtful gift from a friend. My family and friends, I'm real easy to shop for. Coloring, art supply stuff, and crystals, rocks, fossils, geodes, any of that gonna make me happy. Like my brother-in-law came from Tennessee for a visit not too long ago and had me a belated birthday present, and it was a what they call a labradorite tower, and it was pretty big too. I mean, it was sufficient size, and I was just tickled with that. It's so pretty. Put it right in my curio cabinet with the majority of the rest of mine. I've been collecting crystals and fossils and geodes and things since I was little. I mean, I have a necklace that's got a few special charms. There's a mom charm. Um, I love you to the moon and back that my kids got me for a Mother's Day years ago. And I also have a charm that holds the ashes of my grandma and grandpa, the ones I call Mammy and Pappy. So I got my Mammy and my Pappy with me all this time. And then a quartz crystal is on it also. And I bought that quartz crystal down in Kentucky in Cave Cities when I was 9 years old, along with some other crystals. So I've been into it, and I've been buying and collecting that stuff for a while. Pretty much my whole life. Of course, I got my kids into it too. They each have their own collections of oddities and crystals and fossils. We go fossil hunt a lot too. The creeks around us are pretty good for that. We find trilobites and horns and all kinds of other ancient crustaceanal things. And we talking about the cicadas, that we each kept a cicada, a dead one obviously, and a one of the shells. And what I want to do is I want to set up a little miniature shadow box and put the cicada and the shell in there, and have a little tag or whatever saying, this was Brood X and from 2021. Just a weird little thing to keep. That's something else I want to get though, is I love those the bigger shadow boxes that have like a big variety of butterflies. I forget what they're called. I know they got a special name, but I've seen them with a big variety of butterflies and big varieties of moths, and even beetles and just different bugs. And anytime I go yard sailing or thrift storing, which I love to do, or go into the antique mall, I always look for those. And I haven't found any, but I'll find some one day. I just don't want to make my own. Her hidden neck areas throw me off. I can hear the kids up there just giggling and carrying on. One of my birds, Rocky, he's getting all excited. I hear him up there. So the birds might start getting loud. So if they have to sit and listen to the kids giggling for too long, they won't be able to hold it back. They'll be giggling and joining in with the kids. Let's see. Light peach sharpening. I don't know. Let me see. Do I want it on the bottom? Do I want it on the top? Yep, I want it on the bottom. Thinking about what I said now. I used to try to do my skin where I had real defined highlighted areas, like the cheek and bridge of the nose and, the T-zones and all that stuff. And I don't know, I'm not executing it right or something, because I never like how it turns out when I do it. I love when other people do it, how it turns out, just not for myself. So here lately, I have veered off from putting effort into doing that. That's what this is so this is a Holbein cork. See, I will pick up whatever pencil from whatever brand as long as it's the color that I want. I don't care if I'm mixing my brands. Now, I do not have the Holbein set. I want it, but I don't have it. I've bought some random ones, open stock. So I have about 22 of them. That's on my someday wish list. I'm not into markers. Like I said, I don't even have any. I mean, we have some Crayola super tips in the house, but that's not where the kids is, and I don't use them. Although I did try. I'm like, eh. But I did decide to break down, and I added it to my wish list, was a few Copic sets, like some of the smaller sets, but there's the one main one that I want to get is the skin tone set. I think there's, I want to say 6 markers that come in that pack, maybe something like that. And so I thought, I think I'll try that, play around with it, see if I can get some skin tones going on that I like with those. And I know that, I could give myself a skin tone base and then go do some more work with my pencils on top. So I kind of want to play around with that, try it out. That might get me into markers, or I might at least find some skin that I like a lot doing it that way. Gracie May, she's up there whistling. She's my Congo African Gray. Usually when she does that, when she whistles and stuff like she is, she's trying to get my husband's attention. Because that's her favorite human in the house. She calls him her daddy and everything. There was the cricket. Snap, crackle, pop goes that elbow. I mentioned that to the doctor. I said, it's been a little over a year now since I had my elbow broke and partially dislocated and torn that tendon and all that mess that went on. And it's healed pretty good. It's doing okay. Definitely better than what it was. But it seems like a bazillion times a day that thing will crack and pop. And it's always so loud, and sometimes it actually hurts, but not terribly bad, but it definitely feels uncomfortable. She just kind of looked at me confused, like, well, don't know what to tell you. I'm like, well, it's all right. I'm going to try to get her face a little lighter. Because I feel like these things should be darker since it's under her hat and behind shroom. Okay, Kenny, will you take care? Enjoy your grandbaby. Thanks for being here. Oh, I just looked at the clock anyway. I didn't realize. I can't believe 2 hours have went by. Wow. Again, it goes by so fast. There's my cricket again. I keep mentioning it just because y'all don't know how much this cricket's been around and around all week. I've even had the kids down here with flashlights crawling around trying to hunt it up. I'm like, man. I feel like at this point I've been beaten by the cricket, and I may as well give it a name now and just leave it be. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I completely forgot. So, beginning of the week, I guess. Hi, Pam. I was coming back in from the garage, and it's an attached garage. So I'm walking back in the house from the garage and coming down a hall and walking around the corner, and something caught my eye on the wall. And I'm like, what is that? I look, and I'm like, it's a bug. Like, what kind of bug is that? Why is there a bug in my house? So I get up on it, and I'm like, well, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to pitch it outside. I get up on it. It was not a bug. Oh, my God. I had to take it out to the garage and show my husband. And I made him take a picture of it. Let me find this picture. So this was in my house. It's a little bitty frog. Itty bitty tiny thing. And from its little paw, or well, no, not paws, but its little feet look like I think it's a tree frog, is what I think it is. But this little tiny thing was on the wall in my house. And I'm like, I have no idea how it got here in here. Here I thought I had like a green beetle or something like that was on my wall. And I'm like, And I mean, it is so tiny. I had to get up on it before I realized, oh my gosh, it's a frog. So this little tiny frog was in my house. And that's his photo shoot before he was taken outside. I keep wanting to compare, try to figure out look it up and find out what frog it is, just because I'm curious like that. But I'm pretty sure it's some kind of tree frog. I feel like I hear tree frogs outside. I hope that's what it is. If not, I don't know what creatures are crawling about. But yeah, it's a little tiny frog. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that when, like I say, when it caught my eye and I first seen it, I just thought it was some bug. I thought, because I saw the bright green color, so I thought it was some type of maybe beetle, and I'll tell you what else I thought. If y'all have ever seen them one bugs, I don't know what they're called, but it's like a leaf bug, basically, is what I call them, because they look just like a leaf, basically. And so I'm thinking that's the kind of something this was. So, I mean, you just can't imagine how surprised I was when I got up on it close enough to realize that it was this little tiny frog. We used to have frogs at our old place. We had frogs all over the yard. And they were, big old frogs. Not quite bullfrog, but they weren't tree frogs. And I got a hold of a screamer one day because I would take them and put them out back more, where in a better spot for them. I came across them out randomly, and I picked this one frog up, and it screamed its head off, and I mean screamed. And if y'all have never heard a frog scream, go look up some videos. Not now, but go later and look up some videos of screaming frogs, and it's hilarious. And I mean, I felt bad for the little guy. Obviously he was scared and was trying to fend me off or whatever. But I found it hilarious. This thing screamed, and it screamed so loud, it was mind blowing. Oh, I laughed so hard. I wish I would have had my phone on me and made a video at that time of it. It was hilarious. It's just a barely little bit of nail showing on that finger. On that one. I have to remember to get up in there and paint those nails. Well, I'd call the cricket just cricket, but I don't feel right doing that because I have a cousin who's actually named Cricket. um, I don't want to call it Jimmy. You know, Jimmy the Cricket. That's my father-in-law's name. Yes, I'm pondering names to give my cricket that I can't find at this point. Yeah, I want to call it Mozart because his tune never changes. So same old song. He don't get a musician name. Anybody else coloring right now? If so, what are you coloring? Felt that. Sip of my tea. Good old Lipton green tea with citrus. Apparently, I'm going to have to stop drinking this too. Everything me and the doctor said. I feel like I'm going to be stuck living on water and rice cakes. I am going to try the juicing thing and smoothies and vegetable smoothies, if that's what they're called. I don't know. I don't know enough about all that to know what it's all called, but I feel like it's coming to that. I'll just drink a bunch of fruit and vegetables all the time and quit eating everything else. Oh, what it is. Like I said, my throat always does funny things when I'm doing a stream. Just like the coughing, or I feel like I'm gonna sneeze or anything like that. I don't deal with it all day long. But as soon as I plug this camera in and sit down to go live, it it all happens. I think I'm just about ready to say farewell. Get this little piece of arm done. Still need to go over it with the cork though. Get it all figured out. So that's what I'll do is go over this arm with the cork, darken it up a little bit. And obviously her face. And then the big one is going to match these guys. I'm still torn on her hat, but more than likely it's going to match these also. And I'm either going to work on her on my own or have the mushroom and the rest of her skin finished up and continue on with her next week and figure out those eyes and hair and all that business. But I'm going to end it for tonight. Appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. It's always good to see everybody. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're not. Come back again. I'm trying to do it every Saturday at 7:30 Eastern Time. And got some videos I need to get up. That's for sure. I'm behind on posting just my videos. I've got some things announcements and stuff to share and show and all that good stuff. So again, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. And until next time, later, y'all.